Editing Amanda here. As I was editing part 2 of this video, I realized that I left out one of my favorite fragrances, one of my favorite releases of 2024. So I come in my, my little perfume area to grab the perfume, realizing I left out another one as well. So I'm going to share with you the two that I left out before we start with part 2 of the video. And the first one is Heal the Way by Alex L. This is in collaboration with Sniff. And this is a beautiful fragrance, y'all. If you are a gourmand lover, you're going to love this. This is vanilla, some woody notes. It has a pistachio note, I believe. It has a whipped cream type of vibe to it. I love this fragrance. Perfect for fall, like really, really great to wear this time of the year. It just has a very warm, cozy, cuddly feel to it. And as y'all can see, the dent is nice in this fragrance. So I don't even understand how I could have forgot this fragrance. Oh, I'm so glad I thought about it when I was editing. It's definitely a must try, okay? The next one is one that you guys have heard me talk about quite a bit on the channel, and that is Birth of Venus by BuyArgos. Man, and it's a nice little dent here. This is a super sexy fragrance. This is a little bit more on the dark side. It's very feminine. There is raspberry, there's chocolate, there is tuberose, but the sexiest tuberose that I've ever smelled. It does put me in the frame of mind of the kind of tuberose that is in Killian's Good Girl Gone Bad. But this has more gourmand notes with the raspberry and the chocolate. It's dark, warm, a little boozy to me. I love the color, by the way. Now, if you have this or you're thinking about getting it, this is one that I would spray on my skin first. I would spray it on clothes if I'm wearing something dark, because this red brown color does kind of transfer onto light colored clothes. So I wouldn't spray it on my clothes. But y'all, this is so good. And I'm so happy that I thought about this fragrance. And hopefully I haven't forgotten any other fragrances. I've been looking around my collection and I'm like, okay, girl, did we get everything? I'm hoping that we got everything. If not, I may pop back in the video at some point, but I think that's it for now. Continue watching. Okay, next up I have two fragrances from the house of Brandt. Up first here we have Bois de Santal, and then we have Guava Sorbet. Let's talk about Bois de Santal. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful Santal fragrance. And if you don't know, sandalwood and Santal are the exact same thing, okay? They just have two different names. But this is essentially probably going to remind you of fragrances like Les Labos Santal 33. Okay, and other Santal-like fragrances. But let me just say this. Santal hits different for me. It can hit different. It can be very woody, or it can be like a little sweet and creamy, okay? I get both versions in this fragrance. Initially, this starts off very woody and earthy. And I want to say there's something a little smoky in here. I want to say there's a resin in here. Don't quote me, but I feel like it's olibanum, okay? It's a resin. It looks like a flower, but it's very resinous and a little smoky and intense, okay? But about 30 minutes into the dry down, you get this sweet, creamy sandalwood note. So I go on a little bit of a roller coaster when I wear this, but I think it's beautiful. I've actually been wearing this in the fall, in the cooler months, because I feel like because it's so woody, it's very appropriate, okay? Now, Guava Sorbet. This fragrance, I want to say, maybe sold out when they first launched it, maybe once or twice. This is what I thought Juice by Commodity was going to be. This is a very juicy fragrance. When I smell this, my taste buds start to tingle, like I start to salivate, okay? That's what I thought juice was going to do, because if you put the name juice on a fragrance, it should be juicy, okay? Guava Sorbet is indeed juicy, honey. She is guava, passion fruit. She is like, has a little bit of white florals in there, I believe, maybe jasmine, okay? And you get some vanilla. This is tangy, tart. That is the word that I would use. Not over the top sweet, but very fruity and very juicy, okay? That is how I would explain this. But it is a really beautiful scent to wear in the spring and summer, and I cannot wait to rock this when it gets warm again. Brandt is a house that I thoroughly enjoy. I feel like they release a lot of bangers. I think they take their time making fragrances. I'm really surprised that they came out with 2 fragrances this year. Oh my God, they actually came out with 3, because they just released a fragrance called Gray. That may not be the name of it, but it's Gray something. So they actually released 3 fragrances this year. So yeah, I'm really impressed with Brandt fragrances, and I can't wait to try the new one, and I can't wait to see what they do in 2025. Okay, so we're gonna go a little more high end now. I have 4 fragrances here that are, I would consider niche, okay? One you can actually get in Sephora. The others you would have to go, well, one you can get everywhere, honey. You can get his fragrances in Nordstrom, Sephora, Bergdorf. Baby, he's everywhere. Let's start with his fragrance, and I am talking about Chris Collins. This is Lust Oud Delice. This is one of the most seductive fragrances that I've smelled, that I have in my collection. It's just, oh my God, the dent is denting. It's everything, you guys. In this fragrance, you get oud, and it is just a beautiful oud. If you follow me on TikTok or any of my other social medias, you've heard me carry on about how decadent this oud is. It is not like your typical oudi oud. It is rich, decadent, soft, smooth, buttery, and it just goes so well with the other notes in this fragrance, like the hazelnut, the chocolate, the iris. It is just simply beautiful. This is, and I don't use the word masterpiece at all, but I would consider this a masterpiece, okay? It is right up there with African Rooibos. Y'all know I love African Rooibos. It is just a staple signature in my collection, top 10 for life. Lust Oud Delice is also a top 10 for life. It is a lifer, okay? I just don't see myself ever not having this. I actually have a backup bottle, okay? I know, don't talk about me too bad in the comments, okay? I know having backup bottles is so silly, but I have a backup bottle of this one. Let me just tell you this. If you've been thinking about buying a Chris Collins fragrance, okay, number 1. Number 2, you enjoy oud, and 3, you enjoy a beautiful gourmand, I think you would be okay blind buying this. I think you would be very happy with this one. Let me just say that. It is very beautiful, and I highly recommend it. Again, this is Lust Oud Delice by Chris Collins. Next up is from Bohoboco, and this is called Magic Mushrooms. And I'm gonna say this is not going to be for everybody, especially if you don't care for cannabis. So if you don't care for cannabis, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna like this. But this is a beautiful, how can I explain this? Y'all know I like to call this the sexy stoner, okay? That's what it smells like. If you've ever met someone that was super attractive and they just happened to partake in the ganja, okay? That's what this is in a bottle, a sexy stoner. I get the cannabis, I get the green earthy notes, but I also get this white floral note that comes off a little feminine and very pretty. And then I get something a little sweet. It's crazy. How can you combine this, you know, kind of feminine floral fragrance with a earthy green, dark earthy green cannabis? It just goes, okay? But again, I am someone that loves a cannabis note in fragrance. I like a cannabis note, like being around, like I don't partake, but I can sit in a room and people are partaking as long as it doesn't smell like a skunk. I can't wear this to work because that cannabis note is so prominent. So that just goes to tell you how loud the cannabis note is. So I don't know if a lot of people would dig this. This would definitely be for a particular group of people, okay? All right, Osmo by Andrea Maack. Now, I personally love Andrea Maack fragrances, the majority of them anyway. Now, Osmos is probably gonna be the first one that I don't see myself really gravitating for this one that much. I wish I would have got Zest because I hear that it's more of a gourmand type of fragrance. Osmo is very aquatic, almost to the point of marine. So you get this fresh, watery, maybe soapy vibe, but it is very fresh, aquatic, citrusy type of fragrance. So again, those type of fragrances are not my faves, so I don't really gravitate to them that much. Like I have to be in the mood to wear them. So, but if you like that fresh, clean, fresh out the shower, soapy smell, you may like this. If you like fragrances like 724 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, you may like this. If you like fragrances like 1111 Azure by Lake and Sky, you will like this one. All right, next up is my baby. Y'all know what it is. Okay, I'm not gonna go into detail because I feel like I've talked about this fragrance so much. This is Patchouli Paris by Guerlain. And let me just say, oh my God, today, she's special. I'm sorry, she's special, okay? In this fragrance, you're definitely gonna get patchouli, you're gonna get aldehydes, and you're gonna get iris, and I wanna say vanilla. The patchouli here is like a semi-sweet dark chocolate. Patchouli is very earthy, okay? It's not extreme. I know there are a lot of people out there that don't really care for a note of patchouli because it's just too green and earthy. You're gonna get that here, but it's not going to be over the top. It's not going to be extreme. It's not going to be in your face. You're also gonna get an iris note here, which creates this kind of powdery effect. And then you're gonna get the aldehydes. The aldehydes are the piece de la resistance, okay? The aldehydes is the cherry on top. The aldehydes in here actually take this fragrance to 100, not even 10. The aldehydes in here gives the fragrance a razzle dazzle, a sparkle, a ooh la la type of feel, okay? I feel like the aldehydes create this perfumey feel, like a very feminine, seductive, you know, high-end feel, okay? Because y'all know we're talking about Guerlain here, okay? So all of their fragrances, you know, their fragrances have to feel high-end, okay? But she's sexy. She has this bourgeois feel to her, okay? Think sexy lingerie. You know, I wore this on Friday to my daughter's birthday dinner, and she actually... My daughter is a Sagittarius, okay? I wore this fragrance to my daughter's birthday dinner on Friday. Her and I, she's December 8th, I'm December 9th. And she is so funny. My daughter doesn't compliment me on anything. This is how I know my daughter likes a fragrance or whatever I'm wearing or my hair or whatever it is. She get to asking me questions about it. That's how I know she like it, okay? And my daughter is not big on fragrance. Like, she has a lot of fragrances thanks to me, and she's starting to get more into fragrances. But anyway, she was like, we're standing in the like the entrance of the restaurant waiting to be seated, and she starts asking me questions about my perfume. She's like, what do you have on? And I'm like, why? And she's like, it smells like leather. And I was like, well, some people would think that patchouli smells like leather. I said, but it's patchouli. It's called Patchouli Paris. I said, do you like it? And she's like, a true Sagittarius. Like, I had to fish that out of her. But for her to say she likes Patchouli Paris, it's a winner, y'all. Like, honestly, if you're not the type of person that cares for patchouli, I still would urge you to try this fragrance because it is simply delicious, like really. So I have 4 Arabic fragrances here that was released in 2024. I may have some other Arabic fragrances that were released this year, but I picked 4 that I think are really, really good. So I'm just gonna stick with those. And I don't know if you girls would agree with me on this one or not, but I like this. This is Teriaq, the original release from Lattafa, and this is created by Quentin Biche. If you don't know who Quentin Biche is, Quentin Biche created one of the very ultra popular fragrances from Unwash, which is Guidance, and he is also the nose behind Guidance 46 Extrait, okay, by Unwash. And he created this beauty right here. I think this fragrance is either a love or a hate, in my opinion. I happen to love it. It's different from anything that I have in my collection because this is a combination of 2 different worlds that have collided, in my opinion. You have a gourmand nuance going on here, and you have a sultry, leathery nuance in here too, okay? So in my opinion, this fragrance is like 2 worlds collided, gourmand and leather. Boom, put in a fragrance. And I don't think people really dig leather. I'm one of those people. I love leather goods like leather boots, leather bags, leather coats. But when it's translated over into fragrance, it gets weird, okay? It gets synthetic and off-putting, how I like to put it, okay? But the leather in here, in my opinion, is tolerable. I don't know how realistic it smells, but it doesn't smell synthetic, okay? But I still think the leather note is what turns a lot of people off, in my opinion. But it turns me on. And on top of that, I have this caramel vanilla thing going on in here too. I think this is very, very sexy, in my opinion. Now, if you are thinking about buying this and you get it for the first time, I would highly recommend you spray it about 4 or 5 times. Let some air get in here and let it sit for 3 to 4 weeks, okay? I think you will start to feel differently about it. When I smelled this in the store, and the bottle was like down here, so I know it had been sitting out, you know, for a while. But when I got my bottle home and opened it, I smelled something different than what I got in the store. But now I smell what I smelled in the store, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. Okay, again, this is Teriaq by Lattafa, and y'all know they just released a flanker to this fragrance. It comes in a black bottle. I've heard a few reviews on that fragrance, and people have compared it to Angel Share. I don't know how true that is. Leave a comment down below if you smelled it, but I will tell you this: I don't need another Angel Share dupe. okay, but I do want to go put my nose on it, and hopefully I'll go by my little Arabic store here in Houston. Hopefully they have it for me to at least smell. Okay, I don't know if I'm buy it. All right, but the next one I have here is Eclair by Lattafa. Now, if you are a gourmand lover, if you are a vanilla person, a vanilla girly, a vanilla guy, vanilla is your thing, you love all things vanilla, honey, I highly recommend Eclair. Does it smell like Bianco latte? Yes, absolutely, it does. It is sweet, warm, decadent. You get the caramel, you get the ice cream, girl, you get the toffee, you get all the gourmand notes out of Eclair. If you don't want to buy Bianco latte, get Eclair by Lattafa. I think you will be satisfied. Okay, this is a new one to my collection, and this is called Kiaana Crush by Afnan. Now, I recently was gifted this by the brand, and I don't know, from the reviews that I've seen regarding this fragrance, people are comparing it to Queen of Silk. I don't know, I have smelled Queen of Silk, but it was so long ago, I can't tell you what Queen of Silk smells like. I just remember being very, very impressed with Queen of Silk, and so much so that I did a review on it, and so much so that I want a bottle of Queen of Silk. But it's one of those fragrances I'm going to have to revisit. But in this fragrance, you get some earthy notes, you get some vanilla, you get osmanthus. It is very, you know, it reminds me of fragrances like La Vie Belle, but more earthier, okay? A little bit darker, a little bit more high end, more tolerable, okay? That's what it reminds me of. But this is a really beautiful scent. Kiaana Crush by Afnan. Another fragrance that I want to mention that I really, really like is Mystic Bouquet by Afnan. And you guys know the story behind this fragrance. Y'all know I adore Valaya by Parfums de Marly. And I didn't want to spend the money on it because, contrary to what y'all think, I am cheap, honey. I am really, really cheap. And I'm very, very proud of myself that I have kind of got a hold over my spending when it comes to fragrances. I've been, over the last 2 years, more intentional about fragrances I want to add into my collection. So I'm gonna just pat myself on the back, baby. Ooh, I feel really good about that, okay? But I didn't want to spend the money on the Valaya. And the girlies in Fragcom was talking about Mystic Bouquet and how it has the same vibes as Valaya. And I was like, bet. I ordered it on Amazon. I got it. And I still ended up buying Valaya. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's the past, okay? But I will tell you, Valaya and Mystic Bouquet, they are neck and neck, okay? And if you really don't want to be like me, okay? If you really don't want to spend the money on Valaya, I highly recommend Mystic Bouquet by Afnan. I think you're gonna get Valaya from Mystic Bouquet without the Valaya price tag, okay? Is that it? I think that's it. Whew, that was enough, okay? That's all the fragrances I have for the 2024 fragrance rewind. I probably will be editing this video and find a fragrance that I forgot to talk about. And if that's the case, I'll probably do another video in 2025. You guys know when it gets close to my birthday and Christmas and the holidays, I am so busy with my birthday, my daughter's birthday. My daughter turned 30 actually today, but we celebrated Friday. But I get so busy. But I wanted to put this video out because I had already did it on TikTok. I may come back and do, I don't know, I may do a few more videos before the end of the year. In the event that you guys don't see me until 2025, I pray that you have a beautiful holiday season and a happy new year. If you have any questions about the fragrances that I mentioned in this video, please comment them down below and I will respond to you as soon as I can. Listen, I'm very slow at responding on the comments, but I will respond. Okay, I don't want y'all to think I'm ignoring your comments. I've been busy, honey. Okay, charge it to my brain and not my heart. Okay, but I've been a little busy, so but please leave your comment and I will get to it as soon as I can. But if you are into fragrances, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to hit your notification bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. Don't forget to hit your thumbs up button on the way out. It is so important for the growth of my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I will see you in the next video. Bye.